guys, welcome back to another video. Now today we are back with the predictions, but because it's the international break and we can't predict the championship, we're going to be predicting 8 of my favourite looking Nations League fixtures at the weekend. Today I'm not alone, I'm joined by Sky Blue Zone Callum. Go check his account out at the end of this video. He's a YouTuber, he does great content, does Coventry City content, does some championship content, so go check him out at the end of this, and I'll hand over to him.
Hello everybody, and my name is Callum and I run a YouTube channel called SKYBLUES Zone, which is all Coventry City related videos, so go and check out, and also thank you very much for having me on the channel today. So I am on the channel today to basically compete against Matt here in the Nations League predictions for this weekend's fixtures, guys. So let's get into this.
Okay, so the first game we've got is Germany versus Ukraine. Now the Ukraine have never ever beaten Germany. They've never beaten them. That's a really strange stat, and I don't think they will here. They're away to Germany. Germany have got some very good young players coming through. They've got quality all over the pitch. And with this Ukraine team, I just don't know too many of their players, so I don't think they're going to get a result here. I'm going to back Germany 3-0.
Now, I've done some research beforehand, and Ukraine are struggling. I think they've won 1 in the last 5. Germany are on fire. They haven't lost an international game since September 2019, and I think given the form that the likes of Werner and Kimmich etc. are in, I think this is going to be easy for Germany. I'm going to go 4-0 to Germany. I think this is going to be quite comfortable for them.
Now next up we have a fantastic game, Portugal versus France. It's superstars going up against superstars. Ronaldo versus Mbappe, the World Cup champions against the reigning European champions, and this is obviously a repeat of the 2016 Euros final. This is a really interesting game. It's very hard to predict, and when they played in October they drew 0-0, so it wouldn't surprise me if it's going to be another draw, so I'm actually going to back a 1-1 here.
On the one hand, you've got Portugal, who have got arguably, in my opinion anyway, the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo, versus the best young player in the world in Kylian Mbappe. You know, on paper, the French squad is easily one of the best squads in the world. You know, the likes of Griezmann, Mbappe, you know, Kante. It's just brilliant. But I do, however, think Portugal, you know, I think Portugal drew the last game with France, and I think again it will be a repeat. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw between the two sides. I think Ronaldo obviously closing in on his all-time goal scoring record. I think he'll be lively, and yeah, 1-1.
Okay, now next up you've got Spain versus Switzerland, and Switzerland have only ever beaten Spain once, and that was in the World Cup 2010, which Spain actually went on to win. Now this is an interesting game to predict because when they play each other there's not a lot between them. Switzerland are a decent team, they've obviously got Shaqiri, they've got some decent players coming through, and I think they'll give Spain a good game, but I do tip Spain to just narrowly win this. I'm going to go for Spain 1, Switzerland 0.
Now this is going to be a very interesting one. Switzerland are a funny side. They're not always that good. So they've got players like Shaqiri, you know, so they've got good players. But they're coming up against Spain. Now I know Spain haven't been at the level that they used to be at. You used to have the likes of David Villa, Iniesta, Xavi, you know, but I think Spain have got this. I think Switzerland are a good side. They are difficult to play against by all means, but I do believe they've got a good chance here. But I think Spain will nick it. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Spain.
Now next up you have Austria versus Northern Ireland, and this is top versus bottom in Group B1. Austria doing really well, Northern Ireland at the bottom, and Northern Ireland will obviously still be devastated from not making it to the Euros. Obviously lost to Slovakia 2-1 in a really entertaining game which saw Slovakia qualify for the Euros. Now, I do think Northern Ireland will give Austria a good game, but Austria are going to be just too strong. They have got some really good players. So I'm going to back Austria to win this 2-1.
So at the time of making this video, Northern Ireland have just missed out on a place at the European Championships. And they got Austria, and I think this is going to be a difficult game. Austria with some good players like Marko Arnautovic and David Alaba, coming up against Northern Ireland, who are always a tricky side, with the likes of Johnny Evans at the back. I think they would like a bounce back after actually slipping up against, I can't remember who they played, I think it was Bosnia also, I'm not too sure, but they slipped up, unfortunately for them. And in my opinion, I think Austria are going to edge this. So I'd love Ireland to win, obviously being a home nation, but I'm going to go 2-1 again to Austria.
Now, next up, you've got Belgium versus England, and many English fans won't have high expectations going into this one because Belgium are covered in superstars. They've got De Bruyne, they've got Hazard. You could go on forever about how many great players Belgium have got. They are just covered in talent. But England did beat them when they played them last month at Wembley. They beat them 2-1. They came from behind. Despite Belgium being very good in that game, England beat them. But if you go back to World Cup 2018, Belgium beat them twice in that World Cup. So it's a really hard one to predict. Both teams are capable of beating each other. So that's why I'm going to go down the middle. And for this one, I'm going to predict a Belgium 2, England 2.
Next up is Belgium against England, the big one. Many people will say, I think genuinely speaking, this is going to be very difficult. You've obviously got the Belgium side with Lukaku, with De Bruyne, with Mertens, versus your England side, and obviously England picking up a good 3-0 win tonight against Republic of Ireland at the time of making this video. For me, I think England have got. I think we've got to win. If I'm right, this is a must-win game because of what happened with the Denmark game and Iceland. So this is a must-win game for England. So I'm going to back the boys, and I'm going to say, let's go with 3-2 to England. I think the form that our attack is in is top good. The only thing that worries me with England is his defence, and obviously Rashford and Conor Cody have pulled out now, so the defence worries me, but I've always got to back the boys, haven't I? 3-2 to England.
Now, next up, you've got Italy versus Poland. Now, Italy, obviously the better team, the stronger team, the favourites, but I personally think the best player on this pitch will be for Poland, and that is Robert Lewandowski. He is a goal machine. He just doesn't seem to stop scoring for Bayern Munich. He's just on fire, and he could be crucial in this game, in which way this game goes. And I think he will play a part in it, and I'm actually going to say that Poland will get something from this game. I'm going to go for another draw. Italy 1, Poland 1.
Italy against Poland is up next, and this is going to be difficult because you've got Italy, who are, a traditional big sort of European side, coming up against Poland, who have got arguably the most informed striker in world football at the moment in Robert Lewandowski up front. This is going to be difficult. Italy are obviously a difficult side to break down. They've got a very good team. They've got some great young players, the likes of Bernardeschi, Tonali is there as well. And then you've got Poland, as I've said, with Błaszczykowski, if he hasn't retired. And I'm going to go for a Poland win. I do think Poland will actually nick it and cause a little bit of an upset here. I'm going to say 2-1 to Poland. I think they won't get it.
Now, next up, you've got Slovakia and you've got Scotland, and this is a very interesting game. Both teams are going to be coming onto this on a high. They both just qualified for the Euros. Scotland making it to the Euros for the first time in a long time. It's their first major tournament for 22 years, which is quite something. Now, if you look at the group they're in, the Nations League group, it depends how much you want to read into this. Scotland are actually top of Group B2, and Slovakia are bottom of Group B2. So Scotland might be the slight favourites, you don't know. But away from home, this won't be easy. I'm going to back Scotland, though. I just think they're going to be on such a high after that win. And I'm actually going to back them to win this. Both teams to score. Slovakia 1, Scotland 2.
Obviously, congratulations to Scotland for making it to European Championships, by the way, for anyone that's Scottish watching. But I think it's going to be very difficult. Obviously, Slovakia have got their great players, the likes of Marek Hamzic, for example, coming up against Scotland, who will be absolutely buzzing with that performance to get through on penalties. However, I'm going to go for a draw on this occasion. I think it'll be a very good result, but a very close game. I'm expecting this to be a very sort of open, attacking game. I'm going to go a 1-1 draw between the two sides.
Now, last up, you've got Wales versus Republic of Ireland, two of the home nations locking horns here. Now, Wales drew 0-0 with the USA yesterday in a friendly, while Ireland were beaten 3-0 by England, and I've got to say I wasn't too impressed with Ireland. But I think that might be a one-off. I think Ireland are quite a tight-knit team. They're quite good defensively. When they played Wales not that long ago, it was a 0-0 draw, so they are capable of giving Wales a good game. I'm actually going to predict Ireland to get something here, despite Wales's better form going into this. I'm going to predict Wales 1, Ireland 1.
And finally, you have got Wales against the Republic of Ireland. Great players there with Aaron Ramsey, Gareth Bale. Obviously, he's now picking up from form for Tottenham against the Republic of Ireland. You know, so this is going to be difficult. I'm really looking forward to this game. Actually, I didn't even realise this was a fixture, so I'm looking forward to this. In terms of your prediction for the game, obviously, Republic of Ireland were awful, like absolutely awful against England today. If I was a Republic of Ireland fan, considering they've gone from the likes of Damien Duff and Robbie Keane to some of the players they've got at the moment, I am going to be very concerned. I think Wales have got this quite comfortably. I'm going to go 2-0 to Wales. I think genuinely they're going to cruise this game. I can't see Ireland getting anything. They will have a bounce back from that England performance, but I can't see them winning. I think Wales have got this. But yeah, thanks to Matt for having me on the channel. So make sure everyone watching subscribe to him and check me out as well. And yeah, thanks for watching and have a great day.
So then guys, that does wrap up today's video. Thanks for joining the video today, Callum. Thanks for putting in the effort for those predictions. I really appreciate that, mate. Like I said, his channel is up there, Sky Blue Zone. Go check him out. Really, really good content. Coventry City content, Championship content. But yeah, we'll see at the end of this weekend who got more predictions right out of these Nation League predictions. And we'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace out.